With a 50% obesity rate in the U.S. and more unhealthy people than ever before, it is time to make America healthy. Welcome to Make America Healthy with Beth Shaw. If you're feeling tired, toxic, heavy, slow, or stressed, then keep listening. Beth and her expert guests are here to offer practical advice and share the tools you need to reclaim your physical, mental, and emotional health. Now, here is your host, Beth Shaw.
Welcome to Make America Healthy. My name is Beth Shaw. I'm the host of this podcast, the author of 4 books on health and wellness, the founder of Yoga Fit Training Systems, and my goal is to bring you education, inspiration, and appreciation of all the things you can do to take better control of your own physical and mental health. So the theme of today is modern wellness, and I am here with Sam Tejada, who is the founder of Liquivida, which is a wellness center, not just one wellness center, but a lot of wellness centers. And Sam is also an author, and he is a presenter and really internationally known. And I will also say that he's very impressive because he's under age 40 and he has got a multi-million-dollar enterprise. I'm sitting right here today with an IV drip in my arm and at the Liquivida headquarters in Fort Lauderdale by the beach. So we're going to learn about modern wellness and how you can take more of your own health into your own hands today. Sam, welcome to Make America Healthy.
I am so excited. Thank you for having me.
So I have to say I'm just super impressed. You're 37 years old. You've got this great chain of wellness centers. I've been coming to Liquivida as a client for quite some time before we met.
Right.
And I think you're one of the pioneers in this space. Tell us how you got started.
So, I worked for the fire department for many years, 12 years. And I became a firefighter because my goal was to have the most rewarding job possible. And what wouldn't be more rewarding than being a hero? And unfortunately, it wasn't. I'll tell you why. So, working as a firefighter paramedic, what ended up happening is I started seeing people that were getting sick circle down the drain, right?
Your coworkers.
No, not the coworkers.
Okay.
The actual people that were calling 911.
Okay.
So, for 12 years, you're running in neighborhoods,
Yeah.
right? So what was happening is initially you get that first 911 call where someone has an acute illness, take them to the hospital, and then you go back 6 months later, right? And then all of a sudden you're going back every other month.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden you're going back every month. Then you're going every 2 weeks. And now you're taking them to the hospital every other day. So I started telling myself, and that was over I started noticing that over 3 years, then 4 years, then 5 years. I said, well, I'm picking these people up who are calling 911 and I'm taking them to the hospital where the doctors are at. What's happening?
Yeah.
Why is it? They're not getting better. They're just getting on all these different medications. Their lifestyle's not changing. So that's why I said, you know what? I don't feel like I'm being utilized to my fullest potential. I need to do something about this. I need to actually focus on something that's going to take more of that proactive, preventative approach, that well care, versus what we're so used to, which is reactive medicine, where people wait until they get sick to then the physicians, they try to make them better. So that's how Liquivida came to life.
So how exactly did you get started? You're a fireman.
Right.
And now you have this chain of wellness centers. You've written a book, you're presenting. Did you come up with the idea and find an investor? How did that all come to pass?
So good question. Firefighter paramedics here in South Florida, we work 24 hours on and we're off for 48 hours.
Right.
So you have 2 choices on your days off. You either are going to spend a little bit of money you make from the city on your days off, or you're going to supplement your income.
Right.
So most firefighters have some kind of side hustle
Yes.
that they do. They work at the hospital, they have a landscaping business. So I actually started working part-time with a company called Synergenics. So Synergenics, they were the pioneers in a lot of the alternative medicine stuff. So what I did, I was doing blood draws for them.
Okay.
So as I was doing blood draws for them, I would go to their patients were some of the most affluent people on the globe. We had about 350 patients here in South Florida. And every 3 months, I'd go to their homes to get their blood, and their doctors can do the follow-ups on them. So think about it. I was doing that for several years. So if I'm going there for every 3 months, I started to get to know these people, their families, and everything else. And what was happening is I started hearing these patients talk about, they got homes in California, Colorado, all over the place. So I started hearing them talk about this IV nutrition. And when they go back to the homes in California and Colorado, the person who does it, the technician, was an off-duty firefighter paramedic. So I said, when I had like the fifth patient tell me about this, I said, you know what? Let me take a look at this. So I started seeing what my
And
competition.
what year was this?
This was in 2013.
Okay.
2013. And I was seeing what my competition was going to be, what they were doing. And I said, you know what? I can do that, but I can do it better. I can create a nice spa feeling to it where it's not, doesn't feel so clinical, you know? And my goal was this was just going to be another side hustle to make a little bit of extra cash, doing something that I'm passionate about. And I started it with $500 in my back pocket. Fast forward to today, I haven't taken one penny from anybody. We've been self-funded,
Wow, that's amazing.
and we've grown to where we're at today. We've sold over 40 locations. More than half are, almost half are opened up, and then we're all the other ones are in different stages of development. So
That's amazing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, for the listeners who are not aware of IV vitamin drips, which are pretty commonplace now, I used to actually hate doing them, but I realized the benefits far outweighed my discomfort at having my veins stuck. I've been injecting myself with vitamins for years myself, but this is next level when you do intravenous.
It is. It is.
And now I notice if I don't do it at least every 2 weeks, I'm tired. I'm teaching a lot. I don't eat that many carbohydrates. So I'm usually running with an empty tank, and this is a way to really fill up from the inside out.
It is. So our model is we want you to replenish, rehydrate, and revitalize yourself. And that's what it does. It bypasses the digestive route. So you get 100% absorption
Yeah.
of those nutrients. And when we say nutrients, we're talking about vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that your body utilizes on a day-to-day basis to function.
Yeah.
It's part of your body's biochemistry, right? So those different vitamins, minerals, and amino acids, your body's biochemistry, that's how your metabolism works. That's how your immune system stays up. That's how your hormones are regulated,
Yeah.
like vitamin D3, right? That's a hormone precursor. Your hormones feed off of that. Your immune system feeds off of that. So when you're doing it intravenously, you just get that impact directly into your cells.
Yeah, and your liver doesn't take the hit also, which
Right.
is nice. And if you don't methylate your B vitamins, like 40% of the population, then this also becomes very helpful. Do you recommend that people have blood work done prior to doing this so they can see what their deficiencies are, or is it just you're good to go out of the gate?
So, can you come in and get an IV drip without blood work? Yes, you can. As long as when we do the physical assessment, you pass, blood
Right.
pressure's within normal range, lung sounds are clear, you know, uh, you do the lifestyle questionnaire, looking at your signs and symptoms, medical history. But with that said, we do recommend doing the blood work. Why is that? The blood work that we do a micronutrients deficiency test. So now you're not just supplementing to supplement, you're going to supplement based off your deficiencies.
Right.
So when we have the ability to get a good bird's eye view of what's happening internally in your health, that's how you do it through these different diagnostics, blood work, genetic testing, things of that nature.
Wonderful. And I know you offer a lot of other services here, things for the face,
We do.
things for the body.
Yes.
Tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about those.
So Liquivida, we like to put patients through what we call as the Vida Journey, right? So the Vida Journey consists of 5 different pillars. So those 5 pillars consist of our wellness side, which include the IV drips, hormone optimization, peptide therapies, right? That's part of our wellness. Then we have our medically supervised weight loss programs, which
Okay.
people are always looking for that.
Yeah.
So we work on nutrition, we coach on, proper exercise and also the different type of supplementation that they can take for the weight loss. Then third, we have our medical aesthetics, which the medical aesthetics includes the different neurotoxins we use, like Botox, fillers for loss of volume.
Right.
And then we have certain lasers, and we also do the PRP, the platelet-rich plasma, where we utilize the growth factors from your own blood to stimulate new collagen and everything else. And then we have a regenerative medicine side, where we use stem cell derived products
Okay.
alongside with peptide therapy to actually help regenerate tissues, help with injuries, and also age management, the
Yeah.
regenerative medicine. And then the last pillar, which we were talking about this earlier, is the sexual health.
Yeah.
Which if you don't have good sexual health, that could cause a series of different issues, mental health issues, depression. That's something that all of us, male and female, any walks of life, need to have good sexual health.
Right. So it's pretty much one-stop shopping here at Liquivida.
It is.
This is a market that has really grown substantially over the past 5 years. I, was in Los Angeles before I moved to South Florida. And obviously, vitamin drips, vitamin shots, all of that are very big on the West Coast and big now in New York as well. How much has this market grown in the past 5 years, especially since COVID?
Substantially. Actually, COVID was a big boom for this
Yeah.
industry because when COVID happened, most of the people that were dropping dead were people that were heavily obese,
Yes.
nutrients deficiency,
Yeah.
vitamin D deficient. So people started to recognize based off of what was happening, they can't wait for someone to tell them what to do. They have to go ahead and make that adjustment now. God forbid another pandemic or something else
Yeah.
happens. So yeah, COVID was really big. So now the market has grown substantially. Some states more than others. When you look at certain states like California, New York, and Florida, definitely those are popping is what I call it. And then right now you're starting to see a lot of this other states in between start growing quite a bit as well too.
So, what is next for you in terms of Liquivida's expansion? How many states are you in right now?
So right now we're in 6 or 7 states.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're in Arizona, Texas, New Jersey, Connecticut, here in Florida, and we're putting locations all throughout the United States. That's the ultimate goal. My goal is to within the next few years have at least 80 locations open and operating, and having the multiple locations is not just to have multiple locations on a monetary standpoint for myself as a
Yeah.
business owner. It's to fulfill what my ultimate goal is, and
Right.
it's helping as many people possible with their health and wellness.
And let's talk about that for a second. This is not covered by insurance, obviously. This is out of pocket for people. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Even the weight loss drugs.
Even the weight loss
Okay.
drugs, it is.
So it becomes a barrier to entry for some people.
It does. And one of the things I'll say about that is, I'm a immigrant from Dominican Republic
Right.
that came here, family of 6, and I grew up in the inner city. And one of the things, working with the company initially, Centogenics, which was some of the most affluent people on the globe, I started seeing a certain group of people really benefit from these alternative treatments. And it was a little bothersome because I said, well, everybody needs this,
Yeah.
and I want people that look like me also to be able to benefit.
Yeah.
So one of my goals when I started Liquivida, I said, I don't want to be that expensive one-stop shop.
Right.
I want to make this available to the masses. So you'll actually see a lot of our services on Groupon.
Yeah.
Because my goal is to bring it to everyone, to make sure it's affordable. And it's still a little expensive, but we've made it substantially more affordable than what it was before.
And I think for a lot of people, there's like a cost benefit analysis to everything that they do. I mean, personally, I think that any investment we make in our health and wellness is the most worthwhile investment we can make because without our health, we don't have anything. And you'll see people go out to Starbucks and spend $7 on a sugary coffee or, a lot of cocktails. So I think that if people reallocate their spend onto themselves, they're going to land in a much better place on every level. Because when you're healthier, you have more energy to work more, to be creative, and to show up in life.
Yeah, that's what I call a life audit,
Yeah.
right? Audit what you're spending your money on, and you'll be surprised that when you take that deep dive and really understand where you're spending your dollars, you can easily take a couple $100 and do something that's going to be really positive for your health.
Yeah.
So a
It's
life
like,
audit
how
for
many
you.
clothes do we really need? How much jewelry? How many
Right.
cars or watches? Better to just make that investment in yourself.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And you have doctors on staff, is that correct? This is not just some place where you're walking in and someone's sticking a needle in your arm,
Yeah,
right?
every single one of our locations has an actual medical provider
Okay.
that has the ability to diagnose and prescribe. So every location has a medical director that oversees the different medical providers. Our medical providers at the location are either MDs, DOs,
Mhm.
or also nurse practitioners or physician assistants. So all of them have the ability to prescribe different medications. They have the ability to diagnose. They know how to read the blood work. So all of our locations are fully suited up, which, in the industry, that's one thing that I always tell people you got to watch out for. There are some facilities that they still have medical staff. I don't want to say
Tell
that.
I've got to some in Canada where I went on a Zoom and talked to a doctor for like a minute before I could get an IV drip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Telehealth. Yeah.
that's the thing. It's, you want someone who's going to really take care
Yeah.
of your health. You don't want to just go in there and pick off of a smoothie menu.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not what we do here. You want someone who's going to actually assess you, evaluate you, and make sure that you're getting the right thing that you need.
And especially with hormone health,
Oh,
you really want someone who can understand your hormones or read them and
right.
then help you manage your own hormones because a lot of women, 40, 45 to 60, let's say, think that they're depressed because they're fatigued, they're anxious, they can't sleep, when in actuality, it's a hormone imbalance.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many of my clients that I've worked with privately who are in their late 50s and haven't had their hormones
Yeah.
checked and they're gaining weight. They don't understand why. Their hair is falling out. They don't understand why. They're depressed. And sometimes it's not that they need an antidepressant, it's that they need more hormones
That's
or more
true.
vitamins or both.
And one thing that I've heard a lot when people start feeling that way, they get told, "Oh, it's just part of aging."
Yes. Yeah.
It is part of aging, but there's technology and there's science that can help reverse that and correct it. So you don't have to age how your great grandparents did.
Yeah.
You can age in a very, very much better way, where we can actually slow down the aging process. And as a matter of fact, we got patients where will actually do a biological age test on them,
What
right?
modalities do you use for that?
So we have the Pinoy device, what's the VO2 max and the RMR, which
Okay.
also gives the biological age on
Okay.
there. And we also do an epigenetic test that also does it as well too. It's a saliva swab.
Measure telomere length.
We do measure
Okay.
telomeres as well too. That's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's
That's
another show.
that's a great rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I love it though because it's
That's
really
a little
building
controversial,
up
some of those
your
tests.
DNA
Yeah.
and everything. So I love it that you know that, by the
Yeah.
way. So but
I
yes,
shouldn't be doing what I do if I don't know
yeah,
that.
exactly. Well, a lot of the stuff you do helps
Yeah.
with your telomeres
Yes,
also, with
meditation,
meditation and
yoga.
everything
Yeah.
else. So, but yeah, so for us, it's we actually have seen patients where we can actually, once we retest for the biological age, it goes in reverse.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. We're in an area where there are a fair amount of older people. Yes, South Florida.
Oh, yeah.
So are you getting a lot of like 60 plus clients in here? And tell us some success stories about what you've seen.
We do. And, we get everything from someone who's having trouble cardiovascular
Mhm.
wise, we'll start working on their cardiovascular health. We'll get individuals that are heavily obese. And, there's even a lot of individuals that were, fitness enthusiasts where they just life took control instead of them taking
Yeah.
control of their own life. So for us, it's really guiding them back to where they were at. A lot of patients that come in, they actually know what they need to do, but they need that accountability component. And that's where we come in to make sure that they're utilizing all of our different programs to hold themselves accountable and accomplish, what they need to do to hit that goal.
Right.
So
part of our goal at Make America Healthy, obviously, is to educate people on different things that they can do to take control of their own physical and mental health. In today's YouTube University world and podcasts like Make America Healthy, I think that people really have the opportunity to educate themselves if they want to. Your average client, I'm imagining, is intelligent enough to have done some research, that they're not just walking in off the street going, "Hey, what are you guys doing here?" So do you have a kind of an average client profile?
So yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because I always say a lot of the patients already come with a diagnosis and a treatment plan from Dr. Google.
Oh, yes, Dr.
So
Google.
they do so much research where it's just like, oh wow, there's that new product, that new technology out there, and sometimes we learn from our
Yeah,
patients. So, but yeah, most of our patients will start doing some research on their own, which I love that. That shows you that they're already taking that proactive approach
which
to
is
their health.
so great to see that.
It is. It is. It really is.
And are you getting a lot of doctors, traditional Western medical doctors referring people going, your vitamins are low, go get an IV, you've got hormone issues that a lot of doctors do not want to treat hormones unless they're functional medicine doctors,
Right.
again, out of pocket. You go to your gynecologist, she's not going to prescribe testosterone to you as a, 54-year-old woman. She's not going to do that.
Right.
You're lucky you get some progesterone. You're definitely not going to get estrogen.
Yeah.
So there's a big gap, I think, in Western medicine that you fill.
There is, but we are seeing a shift, and the shift that we're seeing is, one thing that people have to remember is that people are going to retire. So a lot of these older doctors that were stuck in that traditional system
Yeah.
are leaving. And what's happening, you're getting these younger people at age 25, 26 that are becoming doctors that have been living in this healthy environment that they know the system has been broken. So a lot of them don't want to participate in the traditional system. And that's why you're seeing the industry grow. They're
And are they all coming to work here?
a lot of them come to work here. In actually recently we've had a lot of former ER
Yes.
physicians come and franchise
Yeah,
a Liquivida.
that's
So a lot
awesome.
of our new franchises are physicians that are just so sick and tired of the traditional system where they really want to help their patients. They don't want to see people keep on coming into their ER clinic and having these issues and never getting fixed.
And they're not going to stick a vitamin bag in you in the
They're not.
my bag is empty.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah,
Your body was
my
thirsty.
body was very thirsty. So they're not going to stick a vitamin bag in you in the ER, are they?
They're not.
No,
No.
no. So, it's up to all of us to educate ourselves. And fortunately, there are resources that we can go to outside of the medical model that exists. Speaking of the medical model, I've read a statistic recently that 45% of all medical professionals plan to leave the traditional model within 3 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is going to cause a big deficit in an already broken Western medical system.
I agree. I agree. And right now with obviously what's happened politically
Yeah.
wise, I do think we're going to see a very strong shift on the way medicine is practiced. And I have my fingers crossed that that
We
does
all
happen.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all praying for a healthier America, make America healthy. Obviously the Make America Healthy Again movement has now gotten big. We've been doing this podcast, by the way, Make America Healthy, since February of 2022. So we were ahead of that Make
Wow.
America Healthy curve. But I don't know when America was healthy to make it healthy again. Maybe before World War II, before they started dumping fluoride in the water, pharmaceuticals, on every corner in fast food restaurants. So, forgetting about Make America Healthy Again, let's make America healthy.
Yeah, I agree. You keep on always hearing, like we always hear, oh, I have to buy organic vegetables.
Yeah.
Why can't I just buy vegetables? Since when do we have to put another label on vegetables?
And most of organic
know?
isn't really organic. If you turn over the bags in Whole Foods of organic frozen vegetables, half the time they're from China.
From China.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just reading an article
Yeah.
on that the other day. It's
Yeah,
crazy to bring that up. Yeah.
not to mention what's in Fruit Loops. So, tell our listeners where they can find Liquivida and any special offers you might have for the Make America Healthy family.
So Liquivida, you can find us online, liquivida.com.
Okay.
We're very active on social media. Our goal is to educate people for free as
Yeah.
much as possible. So Instagram, Liquivida. I'm actively, have podcasts,
Yeah.
which I was fortunate enough to have you on the podcast yesterday. I'm
Thank you.
excited for that episode. It's called A Healthy Point of View. I'm active on Instagram as well too. Sammy_Tejada is the handle. And for all the listeners, the first time in, we want to give them 20% off whatever service they have.
And you can mention the code Make America Healthy.
I love it.
Great. Sam, thank you so much. You're an inspiration, and it's a pleasure to have you on Make America Healthy. So keep fighting the good fight, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone at Liquivida. If you enjoyed this show, please share it with someone who may feel depleted. And we would also like to thank the sponsors of today's show, Prevemedica, offering very in-depth testing for food, micronutrients, methylation, vitamin deficiencies. And we have a special code for our listeners at Prevemedica. You can use the code YogaFit to save 15%. Also, you can email them at hello@prevemedica.com. They also have a full team of nutritionists to help you. I've done their tests and I really believe in them. Sometimes you're eating something that you think is healthy and it's not good for your personal body. We'd also like to thank BioOptimizers for Breakthrough Magnesium. Breakthrough Magnesium is a great magnesium product. It combines 7 different types of magnesium. So you don't have to do that yourself because there's lots of magnesium for sleep, for stress, for digestion. Now it's an all-in-one formula, and you can save 10% at checkout at biooptimizers.com on the magnesium breakthrough and enzyme products by using the code Make America Healthy. Finally, we'd like to thank our title sponsor, YogaFit Training Systems Worldwide, offering corporate wellness, educational seminars, teacher trainings, ongoing continuity support groups, and so much more. Over 400 different programs to choose from, everything from trauma-informed yoga to yoga's therapy, Pilates, everything that you could ever imagine that has to do with your mind-body health. You can go to yogafit.com and save 15% at checkout by using the code MAH24. And thank you so much for listening. Please share this show if you enjoyed it. Please follow me on Instagram at Beth Shaw Health. And until next time, everyone, stay healthy, stay happy, stay informed. Thank you very much. Let's make America healthy.
Thanks for joining us on Make America Healthy. We hope we've given you some tools you need to take back control of your health. Until next time, we wish you a healthy and wonderful week.